Today, we're going to be taking another look at this Evinrude 9.5 SportTwin and talking about timing and setting points. This is the Afterwork Garage. Looking at a service manual for this 9.5 Evinrude, we see a few important points. First is that timing is not adjustable at the flywheel, and the second is that the proper point setting for this motor is going to be 20 thousandths of an inch. Other than that, it goes on to make the point that synchronization of this motor is a matter of coordinating fuel delivery by the carburetor with spark advance, which happens as you turn the throttle handle. So since the spark advance, based on the throttle handle movement and the plate movement holding the coils, is set, what synchronization is a matter of making sure that the carburetor is opening up and delivering the proper amount of air and fuel mixture to the motor based on the throttle handle setting. While that may sound complicated, it's actually a pretty easy procedure, though the way this book has it worded and laid out definitely doesn't make it sound any easier. What they have you do is go to the back of the book, and we see an appendix. So we're back in the appendix here, and we can look up our motor and see that it is a 1965, and it's the 9.5 horsepower. And we come around here and look at the primary pickup location, which is the number 7. And then next to that, it has a second number listed, which is the primary pickup adjustment note. Now, this confused me at first, but it turns out I think this is only just referring to the note in this manual. So what we're looking at is the primary pickup location number 7, and then under that section we'll look at how to adjust it, which is under the number 2 note. Flipping back to the engine synchronization section, we see that there is a paragraph for the number 5 location, the number 6 location, and flipping the page we have the number 7 location. So here it says, engines referenced to number 7 are to be adjusted to the center of the mark. Now the mark it's talking about here is a mark that's actually on the engine, and a mark that my engine is missing. But I will do my best to try to show you where I believe that mark is. To get an idea where this mark is that we're looking for, let's take a look at the schematic of the ignition system in a motor similar to this. So up here we have the flywheel, we have the magneto plate here with the coils and points on it, and then down below that we have a cam. Now this cam is what actuates the roller on the carburetor to open the throttle plate. And what we see here is there's a mark. Now that mark is the mark that's referred to when setting the timing on this motor. Basically what this is saying is that we want to adjust the carburetor so that the roller that turns the shaft of the carburetor to open the throttle plate just barely starts to move when the roller is at the center of this mark. Now remember, in the appendix we saw it referenced note 2, and so what we're looking at here, I don't know why they named it 9, just to be extra confusing. Per note 2 in the appendix, loosen the center screw on the throttle lever and move the lever inward or outward to match the line on the cam. This applies only to the 9.5 models. What this is saying is basically just a description of how you loosen the screw on the carburetor follower arm so that you can adjust it so that when the follower is at the center of the mark, you're having the shaft that opens the throttle plate just barely engage. For just setting the timing on this motor, you don't have to remove the flywheel. But I am in this case so we can better see the procedure, and because I'm going to be checking the gap on the points later, and you do have to remove the flywheel for that. With the flywheel off, you can clearly see that the magneto plate here turns as I advance the throttle. So we're moving the coils relative to the flywheel as I'm opening the throttle up. So we're at idle right here, and then as I'm advancing the throttle, it's coming around. Now the relationship between the handle and the turn of this plate isn't adjustable, but what is adjustable, if you notice down here, is there is a cam that follows the side of this plate, and it opens the throttle. So when you're opening the throttle, you're actually doing it by turning this plate, and then you have a follower here that pushes the throttle open. And so we have, this is the carburetor, throttle plate's down in there, and this shaft right here is the shaft that opens the butterfly valve that the throttle plate's mounted to. So when we're synchronizing this motor, what we want to do is make sure that this shaft engages on this cam lobe here at the appropriate time. Now this is where those marks came into play, and I, for the life of me, cannot see a mark here. My guess was initially that it was in this little indent here, but I'm not completely convinced that's correct. If it were, what we want is to set this piece right there so that right when it touches that mark is when this shaft starts to move. And the way you do that, as per note 2 in the service manual, is to unscrew this screw here. And when I unscrew this screw, what we'll see is that this can now move freely and independently. So what we can do is we can basically set it to engage and bite onto this shaft wherever we want. So we could set it in here, we could set it over here. Because I believe that mark was right about here, what we want is to set this right in the middle of the mark. So we tighten this down so that the throttle starts to open. Now they note that there is play here, so the moment that this touches and starts moving isn't the moment that the shaft starts moving. So what we're looking at is the shaft, and they actually suggest putting an alligator clip on here with a piece of wire, which to me is a little excessive. I think you can just look at that shaft and say, hey, okay, at that point right there it started to move. So if you look at this little pin, now it's moved. Now it's moved. So it's not when this thing starts moving, and it's not even quite when this thing starts moving. It's there. And what we want is that very first movement of the throttle plate to be in line with the middle of our imaginary mark here, which I cannot see. I just don't see it. I don't think there's a mark there. Interesting. So that's actually not at wide open throttle. I'm not totally sure what's going on here. I'm wondering if the mark is actually down here. You know, the more I look at this, the more I think that this right here is the mark that I need to be targeting. So let's go ahead and set it down there. Take a look at how it runs, and if it blows up, then we'll know that wasn't it. I think I have it so that basically right as we hit that mark right here is when the shaft starts to move. You can see this starts to move, is moving right when I hit that middle of that mark, which is significantly different than I had it before, but it also means that the throttle plate is actually going to wide open throttle. Why don't we give this a shot and see how it runs? If you look right here, there's our follower following along the cam on the magneto plate. And with our new adjustment, this indentation to this indentation is kind of a flat area on the cam, and that exactly matches the slow to fast idle. To me, this just gives me more confidence that our new setting is probably the correct one. After running it for a little bit, it seems happier idling, more at an idle speed. But if I bring it all the way down, it struggles. Usually there's like an idle screw adjustment or something like that, but I'm not sure where it is. The other interesting thing I've noted is that if you over pump the carburetor, it starts puking fuel out of here, which I don't know a lot about carburetors. Might be normal, not sure. Doesn't seem awesome. but who knows. I found the idle adjust. Instead of a screw on the carburetor or throttle linkage, it actually sits right here where the handle pivots up. And turning it one way, this way, slows down your idle speed, and turning it clockwise increases your idle speed. So I played with it a little more, and it's definitely happier idling now. So we're all the way down at idle. And it's just kind of chugging along. To set the points on this motor, the first thing we need to do is remove the flywheel. Okay, so if we look here, here's the key on the crankshaft right there. I'm not sure if you can see that. That keys the flywheel into the crankshaft and keeps it from moving independently to set the timing there. Let me go ahead and throw this crank nut back on here so that we can turn this around as needed. When we're talking about points, what we're looking at is these things right here under that red wire. If you can notice, as I'm bringing this around, it's actually opening and closing that gap. So that gap just opened up there, and as I come back around, there's a cam that now allows it to close again. What that's going to do is open and close circuits. Alright, now that we have the engine rotated so that the points are as far apart as they get, we're going to stick a feeler gauge in there and feel. Okay, so this is actually a little bit, see there's resistance there. This is gapped a little too skinny, so we want to actually increase that gap just a little bit. So by turning this screw in different directions, you can increase or decrease that gap. So I've brought it closer now, and as you can see, that's not going to work. And so if I back the screw off, we're now opening the gap up. It's a little wide. There we are, right there, just barely dragging. And this side over here actually looks pretty perfect. Just a tiny little bit of resistance there. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time on the After Work Garage.